Yeah, good morning. Good morning, everyone. How are you all doing? So, if you tune in into the live, kindly like. Everyone, welcome to the live stream. So, yesterday, the gold analysis played out perfectly well. We analyzed gold and it played out perfectly well. Wow. Yeah. So, let's proceed. Yeah. So, as I was saying, we analyzed gold and it played out perfectly well. Yeah, as I was saying, we analyzed all the played out. Wow. Yeah, okay. So we analyzed gold and it played out perfectly well. So this times of the trading season, I think gold is the one that has been playing out very well. Gold has been the one that has been trending very well. All the currencies has been ranging back and forth. See what GU is doing. Wow. You see the barcode. Let's see USDCHF2. USDCHF2, it's kind of trending, but not all that massive. If you look at gold, so you see, for when we start the week, gold has been trending very well since the start of the week. Gold has been trending very, very well. You can see it's moved high, down, high. Gold has been trending very well. And yesterday, BTC USD, to analyze it to myself, and I noticed it played out perfectly well. So this is the point. This area would have been the point I would have entered a buy. So it played out perfectly well as well. So gold has been playing out perfectly well these days. So let's check out the fundamentals and see what we are having today. So looking at the economic calendar, so today is Thursday. So looking at the economic calendar, we're having a lot of news events today. So let me filter out and take out. So you're having news at so during the learning session, let me refresh everything and see the one that has already played out. So the AUD news has already been what? It has already played out. So around 8:30. So CHF, we are going to be having CHF news around 8:30. CHF news around 8:30. 9 o'clock too, we are going to be having CHF news. So a lot of news events You are going to be having a lot of news events. You're having CMB policy rate and CMB press conference, a lot of news events today. And at the same time, you're going to be having 1:50 p.m. to you're going to be having main refinancing rate, monitoring policy statements for PPI. So PPI. So let's see what they are going to be they are going to be expecting for tomorrow. For today. So the 8:30 CHF news is what is the CMB monetary policy statement is also the same as what the interest rate. Okay, it is also the same as the interest rate. The CMB policy rate is also the same as the interest rate. So this is what they are expecting. So the forecasted number that they are expecting is 0.75, and the previous numbers that was released was 1.0%. You get it? So what means is that rates has they've cut down rate. They've cut down rate. Okay. Because the previous rate was 1.0%, and now it's what 0.75. So when they cut down rates, you know what it means to the economy, the influence or the impact it is going to have on the economy. So when they cut down rates, when rates investors are expecting a rate increase, investment investors are waiting for a rate increase. Okay. So at a point where rate is cut, they cut down rate, it normally affects the currency badly because investors will not love to invest in such economy. Okay. Most of the investors are going to pull out their investments for such economy because what they are expecting is what they are expecting investment, they are expecting interest rates to go up. So when mostly when so I'm coming. So mostly when this is what happened when investors when interest rate is very high in an economy. Okay, mostly it attracts investors to such it attracts investors to such an economy. But when interest rate is very low, when they cut down interest rate, it's normally what it's normally it doesn't entice investors, or it doesn't entice what investors or people to invest in such an economy. So when they increase interest rate, this is what normally happens. If interest rate increases, normally you are going to get what you are going to be paying high on what you are going to be paying high when you take loans. When interest rate increases, you are going to pay high when you take loans. When you invest in an economy, like maybe you buy bonds, or maybe when you buy treasury bills, any government investment, any safe investment, what happens is what the the returns on such the returns on such investment is going to increase. That's what normally happens. So that's what normally happens. So when investment when interest rate is high, it normally attracts investors to invest in such an economy. It's people to invest in such an economy because the goal or the sole motive or sole purpose for every investor is to what is for it invest in such an economy. That's what normally happens. So that's what normally happens. So as I explained, that's what normally happens. So if we're having more people, interest rates are high, it will normally interest people to what invest in such an economy. You get it? It will interest more people to invest in such an economy. But if interest rate is very low, people are not going to what be willing to invest in such an economy. You get it? Okay, so as I said, we are going to be having CMB policy rate, which is going to be 0.7. So as I explained, they are going to cut rates. You get it? They are going to cut rates, and the previous numbers is going to be 1%. The forecasted numbers is going to be 0.75%. So that means what their rates you are going to be having rate cuts. So if we get rate cuts, that means what is going to happen to the economy? If we get rate cut, that means what it is going to affect the currency too as well. So as I've been explaining, every currency has a direct reflection on what is happening in the economy. It has a direct impact on what it has a direct impact on what the currency too as well. Every country, okay, every country, both their geopolitical events, the political events, the trading flows, okay, the cash flows in and out of a country, and what their economic events, everything affects the currency too as well. So that means the currency too is not going to be doing well. If it happens, what the forecasted numbers are going to what be playing out exactly, then what the forecasted numbers is not going to be what the according to the forecasted numbers, we are going to be having what a low what. So the currency is not going to be doing well. So that's it. The currency is not going to be doing well. Okay. So and at the same time too, we are going to be having news on euros around 1:15 p.m. Main refinancing rate, main refinancing rate around 3:15. Okay, at 1:15 p.m. We are going to be having main refinancing. So all these things are interest rate. Okay, all these things are interest rate. So normally the reason why the reason why they normally cut rate, or the reason why they normally increase rate, is because of inflation. You get it? So this one, if you trace back and check what happened the previous month, if you notice that if interest rate inflation was very high on the economy the last month, okay, if inflation is very high, normally what they do, or normally what the central bank is going to do is what they are going to cut their when inflation is very high, they are normally going to hike interest rates. You get it? They are going to increase interest rates so that they will be able to use it to combat inflation. So that's what normally happens. You get it? That's what normally happens. So they are going to be having euro 2, they are going to be releasing interest rates on euro 2. They are having monetary policy statement, main refinancing statement. So if inflation is high for the previous month, we normally get what? We get, when inflation is high in the previous month, we normally get rates what? High. Okay. So that they will be able to combat inflation. So that's what normally happens. So around 1:30 p.m. too, we are going to be having core PPI too as well. The- We are going to be having core PPI. So the core PPI too is also what? Purchase it's same as what? It's the same as what? It's like an inflation data. Okay, so producer price index rider. So producing, what do you call it? Producer price index. Okay, so it's almost the same as, so it's like cost of goods and services, or cost of what? Goods and services at the what? The production level, at the supply level. Okay, at the supply level. By CPI is consumer price index at the consumer level. So when manufacturers, what's the cost for what? Buying their raw materials and those things. So this is the meaning of what? PPI. The PPI, they are expecting the same data as well. You get it? They are expecting the same data as well. They are expecting 0.2, 0.2. That's the production level, that's the supply level. Okay. If they are trying to acquire raw materials, if they are trying to purchase raw materials, what are the cost of what? Purchasing raw materials. So that's the main changes in the price of finished goods and services sold by producers. You get it? So actual greater than forecast is what? Good for the currency. Source change series calculation formula, leading indicator consumer inflation. So it's also the same as what? Inflation data. When producers charge more for goods and services, higher costs are usually passed on to what? Consumers. You get it? So if producers pay more for goods and services, what will happen is what? Consumer price index too is also going to increase. As they are saying, they are going to pass on to, because if you are producing something, if you are trying to produce something, if you are trying to produce pen, exercise book, okay, and the cost of what? Producing that exercise book is very high. Trying to purchase maybe the notebook, the papers, and those things, the ink and everything cost you a lot. What is going to happen is what? You are also as well going to increase your what? You are also as well going to increase the cost for the cost of the goods, the cost of the goods you are going to sell it out to consumers. So if producers get high increase in goods and services, okay, to produce to produce the goods, okay, if raw materials increases, what is going to happen is what? What is normally going to happen is what? The cost of the goods and services that they are going to sell is also going to increase. So that's what normally means. So producer purchase producer price index. Okay, when producer price index increases, it normally has what? Direct impact to what? The CPI as well. And at the same time, we are going to be having unemployment claims at 1:30. We are going to be having unemployment claims. So you know what unemployment claims? So when more people are claiming for unemployment benefit in a country, it normally affects the currency too as well. You get it? When more people are claiming for unemployment benefit, it normally affects the currency too as well. So unemployment claims, they are expecting 221K, 224. You get it? They're expecting 221. So that means unemployment claims mean people who are not working in a country, but every month they try to claim for what? The benefits that they normally give to what? Unemployed people. So normally when you go to the Western world, especially America, UK, and those countries, they normally give unemployment benefit to their citizens. You get it? They normally gives unemployment benefit to their citizens. So that's what it's normally happens. So when unemployment claim is very high in an economy, that means what, more people, there are no job in the economy. Okay, more people are unemployed, more people are searching for jobs that they are not getting. You get, which speaks very bad to investors. It sounds, or it has a very bad reputation of about the economy to the investors. People are willing to what, invest in like a economy or a country. Okay, so this is what they are expecting. So for you to know whether unemployment was very high or low, the numbers was what, the numbers that they're expecting is 2 to 1. The previous numbers was what, 2 to 4. So that means unemployment was very low in the economy. The unemployment claim as compared to what they are expecting to what the previous numbers is very low. So that means what, the US, the dollar is going to be doing well because unemployment claim was good in the economy. Okay. And at 1:45, we are going to be having ECB press conference. So with the ECB press conference, so it's a general news event. So maybe a member, a member of what, a member of the central bank is going to speak. A member of the central bank is going to speak. Okay, so when he speaks, well, it normally affects the currency too as well. It normally affects the currency as well. Okay, so ECB press conference. So president and vice president more hawkish. So normally when they speak, they talk about the interest rate. When these people speak, they normally talks about what they are expecting to happen to the interest rate. They normally talks about what they are expecting to happen on the earth, the interest rate as well. So that's what it normally happens. That's what it normally happens. They normally talks about the interest rate and what they are expecting it to happen on the interest rate. You get it? Okay. So that's it for the fundamentals. So around lending, 8:30 when lending opens, 30 minutes after the lending is open, you are expecting interest rates on CMB, which is for Swiss France monetary policy assessment, and 9 o'clock too. You are going to be having any member of what, the central bank, or member of what, the finance committee is going to speak. Member of the central bank is going to speak. So they are going to be having press conference talking about what. So when an interest rate is released, after the interest rate is released, we normally get what, they normally make a press release to talk about why there was a rate cut, or why there was what, a hike in rate. Okay. And 1:15 too, you are going to be having one main refinancing rate. It's also the same as what, interest rate. So today is going to be very chaotic. Today is going to be very chaotic. So which one do we analyze first? Okay. So let's analyze gold. So yesterday, you guys can recall, if you guys can recall, what we did on gold really played out. Okay, what we did on gold. So the analysis are even. So you see exactly what I did. Nothing has been cleared on the chart. You see, as I indicated, I'm waiting for price. So before this candle was closed, we weren't on the live stream. So what I was saying is what, I was saying price, what, the candle should break above this one, then what, the next candle to continue, and exactly it's played out. So the reason is what, I've been seeing it happening moreover. So on Monday, the same thing happened over here. Price broke out and we got a continuation. On Tuesday too, the same thing happened. Price broke out and we had a continuation. So Tuesday, this was when price got to this side, I was expecting a continuation, but it didn't happen. Okay, price got retraced and what, it later pulled up. So when price got to this side, it continued. So what are you expecting? It's the same thing. So you need to learn how to steady price. Learn how to steady price. Steady the move of the price. Steady the move of the price. And trading is going to. So the same thing is happening over here too as well. So the best way we can do now is, so let's analyze it and see what we are going to be. So the same thing exactly played out. You get it? As I was saying, I'm expecting price to break out from this high, close, and the trend will continue. And it played out to the T. It played out to the T and go to the take profit exactly, and price retrace. So you need to. So trading is a skill. Trading is not a gambling. Trading is a skill. You need to practice it day in and day out. Practice, 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 practice. You need to enjoy analyzing. Okay, so let's analyze gold. So of late, I'll be keeping an eye on gold. So on the monthly time frame, we're having what, a resistance over here. We're having a resistance over here. So on the weekly time frame, so on the monthly time frame, if you change it to a line chart, you can see price exactly fell on what, that resistance level. So please kindly pay attention to those levels. It's very, very important. You need to pay attention to those levels. So when you move to the weekly time frame, so you see mostly the various support and resistances that I indicate, you need to make sure it's close to what? You need to make sure it's close to the area of interest. You need to make sure it's close to the area of interest. Okay, so this is the resistance level. So the reason why I'm only solely focusing on this resistance level and not on this resistance level is what? Because price is currently around this side. You need to make sure you are paying attention to where price is at currently. So price is currently at this level. You get it? Price is currently at this level. So trying to what? Trying to maybe identify the support and resistances at maybe this levels, trying to maybe bring it at this level is not going to what? Do you any benefit. You get it? It's not going to do you any benefit. So the best thing you have to do is to make sure you what indicate it around where the current market price. So current market price is at this level. So if price, since this one hasn't broken yet, it's still valid. So around this level, the only resistance level close to this level is this one. The rest are all history. Okay, because price has already passed this level. Price hasn't gotten to this level, and price getting to this level too is going to take a very long time. So it's always important for me to what? To bring it at this level. That's the most important thing. So let's move to the weekly time frame. So moving to the weekly time frame too as well. So with the weekly time frame, what's the trend telling us? What is the trend telling us at the weekly time frame? So trading is very simple. Trading is really very simple. But the reason why a lot of people get it to be very hard is because when the losses come, they think, oh, maybe what they are doing is not working. But if you understand the reality about the game, you can see losses is part of the game. You just continue doing your thing, and like it's all about trading. So you see, when you were in school, when you were in basic school, or maybe at the JHS, or maybe secondary school, or any of the levels, you can still we learned about shapes. We learned about shapes. So we said we have uh this is what we were having these shapes. So we learn shapes. Okay, we learned different size of what. So this is what triangle, right? This is if the this is rectangle, and we had what square, something called square. So square is when all the sizes are the same. Square is when all the sizes are the same. And we had what we having a lot. We having pentagons, different types of shapes. Okay, we learn different types of what octagons, pentagons, so a lot of shapes. Okay, so it's the same thing. So how are you going to know if this one is what a rectangle, this is one is what a triangle, this is what a square? You are going to know by what trying to what visualize you like trying to picture, or either you are going to use the various maybe edges. Okay, if this one is having three edges, it means what triangle. If this one is having maybe four, like the same this thing, that means if it is having equal length, and equal what different equal length, or equal horizontal length, equal vertical length, equal horizontal length, it is a square. Like you are going to just visualize the boxes in mind. So it's the same thing in trading. Trading too, you need to learn to visualize the pattern too as well, because the same thing is going to happen again. Okay, so don't sleep on your winning trades. Don't sleep on your winning trades. That's the best way. So it's the same thing too in trading. Trading too, we analyze. So some people have something called a head and shoulder. So head and shoulder, they normally it looks like this. Don't rejoice on your winning trades. You need to learn from that. So this is what head. Is it head and shoulder? Head, shoulder, head. Okay, shoulder, head, shoulder. Okay, shoulder, head, shoulder. We're having a lot of patterns that people have, maybe something called end pattern. People also having what W patterns. Okay, okay, a lot of patterns around. You get it? So because the same thing has been happening in the market, and the thing when you take like 10 trades, it has been playing out like 7 times. You get it, or maybe 6 times. So that's why people have what dedicated time to study those patterns. So you need to what learn how to study the patterns. That is the best way. Okay. So no one is born with this thing. Everyone learned it and he became good at it. So trading is not a gambling. Trading is a profession. Trading is like you need to learn how to what master the patterns. So when you look at the weekly time frame, the trend is what a downtrend as well. Okay, you had it moved impulse correction, impulse, it's pulled back, impulse correction. So currently making a retracement around the side. So YouTube, is the network okay now? YouTube, kindly type if the network is okay. If you can hear me very well, kindly type in one in the chat box. Let me know. If you can hear me very well, kindly type in one in the chat box. Let me know if you can hear me. On YouTube, if you can hear me, kindly type in one in the chat box. Let me know if you can hear me. So kindly type in one in the chat box. Let me know if you can hear me. If I'm very audible. Okay. All right. So thank God today you're having a smooth ride. So on the weekly time frame, you get it. So you need to do top-down analysis by following the trend. If the market is not trending, please stay out. It is better you treat the trend, and the chances that you are never going to what you are never going to. There's no way you are not going to be profitable if you are following the trend. So the trend, you need to study the trend. So we're having resistance to at this point at the weekly time frame. So moving to the daily time frame, let's get to the daily time frame. So at the daily time frame, so at the daily time frame, what's the trend for the daily time frame? So if you can picture or if you can see the chart very well, okay, if you zoom in and check the chart very well, if you are trying to read the chart, you need to start from your left. So the price was doing higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows. Okay, price was doing more of higher highs and higher lows. So you can see the trend is what the market is really trending very well as an uptrend. You get it? The market is really trending very well as an uptrend. The market is really trending well for an uptrend. You get it? So at certain points in the market, price pulled back over here, started the downtrend. So lower lows and lower highs. Price pulled up, okay, the trend started moving up. So we had what? An uptrend, price pulled back again. Okay, still consolidating. So looking at the trend at the daily time frame, I would say the trend is what? An uptrend. If you can see it very well, you can see the trend is an uptrend. So as price broke out, made the consolidation, and what? Price broke out again. So as price broke out, the trend turned towards an uptrend at the daily time. So if you can see, if you are checking the trend at, so you see that what we drew on the weekly time frame is now what pointing, or it's now what sitting on the same daily what resistance level. You see, we got this one from the weekly time frame. We got this one from the weekly time frame, and it is now sitting on what the daily time frame too as well. You get it? So if you look at the weekly time frame, the daily time frame, you can see the high. The high over here has been broken. At the daily, the high has been broken. Looking at the weekly time frame. Looking at the weekly time frame. So this is where I was. So it's the same thing that happened. What this pattern that is happening. So like the market is very it's repeat itself. So you can see this one. What happened yesterday as price broke out, made a rate test. What are you expecting? A trend continuation. And look at this one. To price broke out from the zone. Price broke out from the zone, making a rate test. What are you expecting? A trend continuation. You get it? So the same thing that happened on what? The same thing that happened on gold the other time is the same thing that is happening over here. So yesterday, the analysis we did over here is the same thing that is happening over here. So it's very simple. Just indicate it over here. This is what we are expecting. We are expecting Okay, so as this one, I'm expecting a breakout. If it breaks out, so it's going to be the same thing over here. So at this point, what I'm going to wait for is for price to break and close. So as price hasn't closed, I'm not going to make a move. So as price hasn't broke, even though price is trying to break, but as price hasn't closed, I'm not going to make a move. So what I'm going to expect to happen is what? Expecting price to close around the side. Okay, if price break and close above this side, then I'll search for an entry and take the continuation. Because if you look left, okay, if you look left, there's no nearest price action. You see, the nearest rejectional level, the only rejectional level is at the daily time frame. Okay, if you look at the monthly time frame, price was just heading straight up. If you look at the weekly time frame, price was heading up. If you look at the daily time frame, price was heading up. So the higher time frame rejectional level, the only point price is going to reject is at this point. So gold still has what? Gold is still having some more uptrend. You get it? Gold is still having some more uptrend potential. So gold is still having what? More Gold is still having what? More uptrend move. If you look at the left, you can see clean zone over to the left, like what happened yesterday to clean zone to the left. So now what I'm going to be waiting for is what? I'm going to wait patiently for the H4 candle to close around this side. If the H4 candle close around this side, then I will quickly what? Find an entry like what I did yesterday to take the continuation. Okay, so the same pattern happens over here, and the same pattern too happen on. So you see, Bitcoin yesterday, BTC USD broke above this one. So as BTC USD broke above this one, what did we see? We saw what? A continuation of the trend. You get it? We saw a continuation of the trend. So it's the same thing that I'm expecting to happen. So now one thing you need to understand is what? The market, the candle or price has tried to what? Price has showed a signal, or price has showed something like it is trying to break above. You get it? Price has given you a signal, or price has showed a signal that what? It is trying to break. But one thing you need to understand is what? The candle hasn't closed. So you see what's happening over here. You see what's happening over here. Price tried to break above, but it later left a wick. It later ended up as what? A wick. Okay, this one, price tried to what? Price gave us a signal that it is going to continue, and the body of the candle broke below this one. You get it? So it's the same thing that might happen to. So it's the same thing that can happen to on this one too. You get it? It's the same thing that can happen to over this one. So don't be deceived that price is going to continue. So that's the mistake a lot of people make. Don't be deceived, okay? Don't be deceived that price is going to continue. As price hasn't closed, you can still get a rejection. Okay, you can still get a rejection. Price might look like it is moving up and it's what? Just close within the range. So you need to take note of that. Price hasn't closed, so it still maintains. You get it? It still maintains. So please take notes and don't be deceived. Wait for the candle. Patiently wait for a candle to close. So a lot of people normally, if they are waiting for the candle to close, they thought maybe they are going to miss the move or they are going to miss the trade. It's normal, okay? So when I was starting out, I used to get scared. Like I used to feel FOMO, fear of missing out. Oh, the trade that I've been looking for, trade that I've been waiting for it for a very long time, it's now trying to what? Retrace and other stuff. You get it? It is trying to retrace. It is trying to. I'm not going to get it. one thing you need to understand is what if the thing is going to play out, you need to stick to your plan. Patiently wait for the price to close. So if this one moves and head to this side, I don't care. The plan is to wait for something of this sort that happen over here. So you see what's happening over here. Unless I see the same thing happening over here before I will go in for a buy. Okay. You see how beautiful the candle closed exactly above the level, and the next candle continue. If you watch this one too, you see beautifully how the candle broke above the zone and the trend continue. It's the same thing that I'll be expecting it to over here as well. I'll patiently waiting for the candle to break above this one. Then I'll take the continuation of the trend to the next zone. You get it? That is what I'll be expecting it to happen on what gold USD. It's the same thing. So if I don't see something of this sort, there's no way I'm going to execute. So unless the candle, the body of the candle has broken above, if the body of the candle breaks above, then I'll be glad. Okay, so the body of the candle that I'm talking about is the H4 time frame. So I'm currently waiting for but currently I'm currently waiting for the H4, waiting for the H4 candle to. So I'm currently waiting for the H4 candle to break above. So it should close above 2000, 2718.6 to take a buy. Okay. Okay, when it breaks above, then I look for what? Then I look for an entry. Okay, so when it breaks above, then I look for an entry. So when the candle breaks above, then I'll be looking for an entry. Okay, so that's what I'm expecting. That's what I'm expecting it to happen on what? Good. If the candle breaks above, then what? I'll look for an entry. So that's what you need to understand. So if it doesn't happen, because from past experience, from what I've been observing, the same thing happens, observing the same thing. So I have to be a master of my pattern because before I would take a buy. Okay. So sometimes the 15 minutes, so you can see the 15-minute candle has broken. I don't care. You can see the M30 candle has broken. I don't care. You can see the H1 candle has broken. I don't care. My pattern is to wait for what? The H4 candle to break above, then what? I'll take a buy. That's what normally I look for. So if it moves like 100 pips, since it doesn't for that, since it is not in my trading plan, I'm not going to be executing. So that's what normally I look for. So when it happens like that, then what? I will look for what? So that's what I'll be looking for to happen. So that's my trading plan. Okay, that's going to be my trading plan for gold. So yesterday, the same thing, we analyzed the same thing. I sent out a signal even in my private group. I told them what I'm expecting on gold, and it's played out perfectly. Okay, because I was very confident in this trade. And one thing I've noticed about gold is what? It normally moves very well during the New York session. So I'll be keeping an eye on that time. It normally moves well around when New York session starts. So it normally, so since you are in daylight savings, it normally starts around 1:30 p.m. Okay, 1:30 p.m., 2 to 3, that time. That's when it's normally what brings in a lot of volume. So I'll be keeping an eye, I'll be having an eye on that time. I'll be having an eye on gold on that time. So that's what I'm expecting it to happen on what? Gold, for it to happen. So let's check out USD CHF, or let's analyze GBP USD and see. So if you look at GBP USD, it's kind of what, see how it has got. So GBP USD, since we started November, since November, price hasn't been moving smoothly like that. So let's move to the monthly time frame and see. So on the monthly time frame on GBP USD, let me do my top-down analysis. So with my top-down analysis, we are going to be having support over here. So we are going to be having resistance to over here, because price is currently on this level. So moving to the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, you haven't, because one thing you have to understand is what, price was initially an uptrend. You get it? So the moment the candle broke above, the moment it broke above, you get it? The moment it broke above, the trend shifted to what? So the moment this one broke below a down trend, you get it? Continuation. With when I connect the Telegram, I normally get pages in the YouTube. So that's what I've noticed. So yeah, so I'm even experiencing. You use the StreamYard okay, so that you join me directly, because it normally interacts with the YouTube. Okay. That's also first before I connected it was flowing, but now it's getting breakage. Join me directly on StreamYard. I will join that. Okay. Yeah. So price retrace. So now currently price is breaking up. Price is trying to break above. See, price is trying to break at the time frame, but it has yet not broken. So when you get to the daily time frame, on the daily time frame, On the daily time frame, we are having this resistance to over here. So what's the trend for the daily time frame? An uptrend. You can see it over here. Price, if you are reading it from your left, price made lower low, lower high, lower low, high. Trend at the daily time frame. Price is currently what? Price is currently an uptrend. If you are moving, if price is heading up, you can see you having clean. If you move to the weekly time frame, you can see a smooth move to listen. It's just a pullback at the weekly time frame. You get it? It's a pullback at the weekly time frame. It's a correction at the weekly time frame. But one thing you need to understand, and since it's a higher time frame, so Bernie, I'll like you. Okay, so you just manage it for I will. Okay, so guys, let's so the weekly time frame. So as I'm saying, when it comes to GBP USD, this uptrend move that you are expecting, okay, this uptrend move that you are expecting, yeah, it's a pullback at the weekly time frame. It's a pullback at the time. So I've now noticed the reason why the YouTube was breaking. So when I connect the Telegram normally, that it normally distracts the YouTube flow. So at the daily time frame, so it's just a pullback, okay, because the weekly time frame is what? An uptrend. Price move down, trying to what? Pull back time frame. But if you move to the daily time frame, the daily time frame has become a trend. Okay, it has become a trend. So those times we used to condemn people. Why are you trading against the trend? Why are you trading against the trend and other stuff? But if you grow, you understand that a trend can be what? It depends on the time frame the person is trading. Okay, it depends on the time frame the person is trading. So if someone is concentrating on the weekly time frame, he might tell us you are trading against the trend, because at the daily time frame it's just what? The daily time frame is an impulse move, but if you move to the weekly time frame, it's a correction or a pullback. Okay, so if you are judging or what, if you are trying to justify what someone is doing, you need to make sure what you understand the system of the person. So we are having different time frames. We are having different types of time frames. So a correction at the weekly time frame can be what an impulsive move at what the daily time frame, H4 time frame, on the lower time frame. So it depends on the time frame the person is concentrating on. You get it. So let's move to the the daily time frame. I'm expecting the whole of this move. Okay, the whole of this move. What's the pip range? So the pip range is around 138 pips. You get it? The pip, you get it? It's a crazy pip range, so you can take a lot from this trade. But the daily time frame, one thing you need to understand is what the daily time frame hasn't closed yet. Okay, so we're having a lot of consolidations to at this level. A lot of consolidation. We're having one hot. We're having one resistance to over here. We're having like multiple rejectional levels over here. Another rejectional level over here. If price is heading up, it's going to retrace on this level. So a lot of rejectional levels at the hot at the H4 time frame. So now one thing you need to understand is what the H4 trend is still a downtrend. So the trend moved up, lower low of the high of the whole of this swing. The whole of this swing, we're having a high over here. We're having a low to we're having a low to over here. So we're having the high, we're having the low. So it's still what the high is still getting maintained, the low is still getting maintained. So the only point the trend is going to shift to an uptrend is what, since this one has been broken. Okay, since this one has been broken, since this candle has broken this one, unless it comes up and break this one too. Okay, if it breaks this one, then the trend will be an uptrend. But yes, still you get it's still consolidating within the range. It's still consolidating within the range. You get, so the trend is still what? The trend is still a downtrend. So we are going to wait for the price candle to break above this one. So when the candle break above this one, there are two things you are going to be expecting it to happen. If the candle break above this one, then one, the trend has shifted towards an uptrend. You get it? The trend has shifted to an uptrend. And two, we are going to what? Wait for either you are going to be searching for a breakout entry, or you are going to be looking for what? A retest entry. You get it? So this is how it's going to happen. The retest is going to be something like this. You're either going to wait for the candle a bearish candle to close. Okay, these are the scenarios I'm going to be expecting to see from the market. So these are the things that I would love to. These are the things that I'm expecting it to happen from the market. You get it? So if it breaks out, I'm going to be expecting a pullback and the trend will continue. Or I'm going to be what? Either we are still going to be having, so my playbook that I listed, all these things are in. Or either I'm going to wait for what? Either I'm going to wait for a breakout. I'm going to wait for a breakout. A breakout and a trend continuation. But with the trend continuation, sometimes I'll be timing it at what? With the trend continuation, I'll be what? I'll be looking at. I'll be checking it out on the lower time frames. Okay. So with this one, I have to. I'll sometimes go to the lower time frame, because if I'm basing on the H4 time frames to look for an entry, then I'm going to miss out. So I have to go to the 15 minutes and look for what? A shift in structure. Okay. A shift in structure can be this one. Okay, then I'll take the continuation. So something of this sort, when I go to the 15 minutes, that's what I'll be looking up to, or I'll be looking for. Okay. Or this one, if it happens, the break and retest, if it happens, then I'll be taking this trade, the same time frame has given me what? A setup, and at the same time has been giving me an entry. You get it? So these are the scenarios I'll be looking for. And another scenario that can happen is what? Is the same breakout scenario, but what can happen is what? We can have a long week. We can be having a long week. We can be having a long week, and later we can be having a long week like this. So these are the scenarios it mostly happens in the market. We can be having a long week like this. Okay. So when it happens like that, I will be looking for an entry when it goes back to the level. It goes back to the reactional level. Okay. Then I'll take the continuation. So this is what I will be expecting it to happen. So these are the various scenarios I'm expecting it to happen. So first, if it breaks out, it's either going to give us a retest entry. Okay. If it gives me the retest entry, then I will take it. Or if it breaks out, no retest, trend continuation. So this setup, okay, this trade setup is what happened on gold yesterday. So you can see yesterday, gold broke out, and what? It just continued up. So it's the same scenario I'm expecting. So I told you guys that even though the 15-minute time frame has broken and closed, you get it. So you need to know. So we're having different types of time frames, but not all the time frames are reliable time frames. So this is a free tip I'm giving it to you. It cost me a lot before getting this class. You see the 15-minute time frame has even broken, but it's still pulling back. So you need to understand that the higher time frame hasn't broken this key. So this is weekly or monthly level. It is not any other time frame level. So not us, you are not going to be relying on small time frames to break for you to confirm. That's what you need to take note. This is higher time frame and the weekly time frame. So one thing to understand is what 5-minute time frame can break it easily. 5-minute time frame breaks and close things easily. It breaks and close reactional levels easily, and they are all fake out time frames. The candles you see at the lower time frames are fake out time frame. So this one, 15 minutes can break and close it. This is a higher time frame. So you need to confirm it from what? A stronger time frame break. Okay. So if you move to the daily time frame, If you move to the daily time frame, you can see the daily time frame has broken it. Fine, the daily time frame has broken it, but the H4 has broken below. So wait for the H4 to break above. Since the daily time frame has broken above this level, the trend would definitely get up. That's what you need to understand. The trend would definitely, and the tip of the candle too has been broken. Okay, so this is a very strong level. One thing, the reason why I'm saying it's a strong level is it in the sense that what the daily and H4, the weekly and the daily time frame, what all aligns on the same level. They all align on this level. Okay, if you move to the weekly time frame, the weekly, this is what a weekly resistance. If you move to the daily, to this also a daily resistance. So two what higher time frame has aligned on the same area. Okay, so this level is very strong. So since the daily time frame has broken above, it will definitely get here, but it's, you need to what, so now the setup has aligned. You need to understand that we haven't set up an entries, so the setup has aligned now. You get it? The setup has aligned, but there was no entry. Okay, there was no entry. So this is what I'm expecting. I would love to expect the same thing that happened on what the H4 time frame yesterday. The same time, what the pattern that repeated itself yesterday. I'm expecting it to happen the same thing on what the daily time frame. Sorry, today. I'm expecting the same thing to happen on what gold today. You get it? That's what I would love to see. Because since the daily has broken above that zone, this level is still going to maintain. Okay, that level is still going to be maintaining. So as I'm saying, these are the various scenarios that I'm expecting it to happen on GBP USD. Either the daily H4 time frame breaking above, giving us a retest. So this is scenario number one. Okay, this is the entry signal I'm going to be looking for. This is entry signal 2. This is entry signal 3. Okay, so these are the various entry signals that I'm looking for. These are the various entry signals I would love to see from the chart. So these are the various entry signals that I would love to see on the chart. Okay, these are the various. So if price break above this one, if you look left, you having clean zone, price is going to flow easily to. We are having clean traffic. Okay, tradable zone over here. So the tradable zone is around what 73. But if you look at the daily time frame, the daily time frame, the daily time frame, the bearish candle closed below this one. So I would love us to wait for the day. If you are taking trade on the daily time frame, then you need to wait for the daily to close, then you take the continuation for it to fill. Because now, if the daily time frame close above here, the H4 time frame also close above here. One thing you need to understand is what all the time frames are now going to align up. Okay, the daily is going to be an uptrend. The H4 time frame too is as well going to be an uptrend. You get it? So these are the things that I would love to see on GBP USD. You get it? These are the scenarios that I'm expecting. So let's look at the USD CHF2 scenario and see what's happening. So yesterday, you see, I said I was expecting the level to be broken. So please pay attention to the various levels. So you see how exactly. So yesterday around, so we analyzed this play around in the lending session. Yeah, so price was around this level. Okay, and you can see, yeah, yesterday, so I said unless this candle breaks above. So if you look at the lower time frame, you can see the lower time frame. So if you come to the lower time frame, you notice that the lower time frame at certain points, okay, at certain point broke above. The lower time frame at certain point broke above and later what retraced. So the lower time frames are not reliable time frame. So yesterday I was saying this level is going to, unless this level breaks, okay, unless this level breaks before I'll look for a buy, before I'll go in for a buy. I said before, unless this level breaks before I'll go in for a buy. And exactly price what got rejected by the same level. Price got rejected by the same level, and this one pulled back. It's pulled back again. It's pulled back again. Price tried to move up. It again got rejected. It's pulled back again. Price tried to break out. It got rejected. You get it? So price has been rejected several times. Price has gotten rejected several times. So let's reanalyze everything again and see. So on USD CHF, so if you're on YouTube, kindly give a like to the stream. Kindly click on the thumbs up button. Give a like to the stream. Click on the thumbs up button. That's the only thing I'm demanding. And if you have not subscribed to the channel too, kindly subscribe to the channel. If you are new to the channel, kindly subscribe to the channel and share the link to your friends too. All right, so moving to the weekly time frame, what are we expecting on this? So this is what the dollar, the dollar Swiss francs. Okay, so the monthly time frame. So currently, this one is not needed. The reason it's not needed is what? The reason why this is not needed is price has already moved above that level. Price has already moved like far from this level. So we're having this rejectional level 2 over here. These are the various rejectional level. So moving to the weekly time frame. So we're having this rejectional level at the weekly time frame. So these are the various rejectional level at the weekly time frame. So heading into the daily time frame. So what's the trend for the weekly time frame? So the trend for the weekly time frame is what? An uptrend, in the sense that price broke up, made a red test. Okay, so we're expecting a red test to either come to the next rejectional level. Right, you get it? I'm expecting the rejectional level to come to the next rejectional level, at next point of interest or rejectional level. So if you move to, so the weekly time frame is what? An uptrend. Price made more of what? Impulse correction, impulse correction. So we're expecting a retracement on this rejectional level. So moving to the daily time frame. Moving to the daily time frame, price is currently consolidating. Price is doing more of equal highs and equal lows. Okay, by looking at it technically, price is a downtrend. Looking at it technically, price is a downtrend at the daily time frame. You see, last week price gave us head and shoulder pattern. So price broke out, made a retest, broke out again. You get it? Because this was the point price was making an uptrend. This was the point price was making an uptrend move. Price made high, low, high, low. Get so it was hovering around this rejectional level. You see, as this one created a support, price move up. Price created additional support, price move up. So price is what hovering around the same level. So at this was the point price broke out. So the moment price broke out of this one, the trend shifted towards a downtrend, made a pullback, trend continuation, made a pullback, trend continuation. You get so at this point, the trend is what the trend is currently or technically what's a downtrend. So as the trend is a downtrend, we are having this rejectional level over here. This is the rejectional level. At the same time, having this rejectional level to over here. So currently the trend is what a downtrend. So moving to the H4 time frame. So what's the trend? So the daily time frame, as I indicated, is a downtrend. So price got rejected on this level. Price got rejected on this level. You get the price got rejected on this level, and we had a support tool over here. You get me? We had a support tool over here. So currently the trend is an uptrend. Okay, so price is going to shift a downtrend when it breaks this high and what? So that high has already been broken by this bullish candle. Okay, that high, this high has been broken by this bullish candle. So now it's left for this low to be broken. So the moment this low will be broken, the trend will shift towards a downtrend. So the moment this low gets broken, the trend will now shift towards. And now the trend will now shift towards a downtrend. So that's the point you are going to be searching for an entry. Okay, if the candle breaks below this one, we are going to be looking for an entry when the candle break and close below this one. So if it breaks and close below this one, then you are going to be looking for what? Then you are going to be looking for an entry. So we are going to be looking for what? An entry for the continuation of the trend. The continuation of the trend. You get it? For the continuation of the trend. So I would love to see what the price breaking and close below this one. If it breaks and close below this one, so you see the entry scenarios that I gave initially. You're either going to wait for a breakout, you're either going to wait for break and retest. You get it? So these are the things for it to what, fill this zone. Okay, because last week this zone was supposed to fill. You get it? Okay, it was this zone rather. Sorry, it was this zone rather that it was supposed to fill, but got rejected and came back again. So this week too, I'm expecting this candle to close above this one. If it closes below this one, then we are going to be having the various rejectional. So the entry scenarios that we are going to be having is what, either a continuation of the trend, either a continuation either you are going to be having either a continuation of the trend or what, a retest, you're either going to be having a retest, then the trend will continue. The trend will continue downwards. So these are the things that these are the entry signals I would love to see. Okay, or I would love to see. Yeah, so these are either breakouts or a retest. So these are the various entry signals I would love to see from the charts. But it all demands patience. You need to be patient to wait for it to happen. Okay, you need to be very patient and wait for it to happen. We need to be very patient and wait for it to happen to see it playing out. So these are the things that I would love to see on what GBP. So what I'm waiting for USD is what I'm waiting for the candle, this time frame candle, the time frame, the H4 candle, the H4 candle to break and close. I'm waiting for it to break and close. Where's the end? But waiting for it to break and close below what price? Below, let me check the price. 0.8818. I'm waiting for it to close below 0.88188. If break and close, then I will look for an entry. But you need to understand is what you need to understand is what setup is different from what entry. Sometimes you can get a nice setup, but if there was no entry, you can't take that trade. So that's what most people do. You need to understand how to enter the market. So if it breaks below this one, I'm going to be looking for what? I'm going to be looking for an entry. Okay. I'll be looking for the entry. So I gave you the various entry signals, either a breakout or a break and retest. So that's what I would love to see from the chart. So that's it for USD CHF. So GBP USD is not giving. So you see the level has been rejected. So guys, you need to pay attention to the various. So you see GBP USD what is doing. You see how the level got rejected. So you need to pay attention to the various levels. So go to is doing the same thing. Gold 2 is also doing the same thing by getting rejected. So you see the level is what? Again, rejecting gold 2 as well. You get it. The level is what? Rejecting price for gold. So that's it. So let's analyze. So now currently BTC is around what? BTC USD is currently around 100,064 647. 100,064. So it's currently 100,600. Yeah. So yesterday I analyzed this one and it's really played out on BTC. But one thing about if you are trading BTC, the charges, the spread alone, the charges of trading this pair is very, very high. The charges is you are going to pay a lot to trade this pair. I don't know. Is it because it is not liquid? BTC USD is very liquid. You are going to pay a lot. So the setup really played out during the New York session. It played out perfectly well during the lineage. So this way it's happened, and boom, it's played out. You get it. It's played out. But you need a lot of capital to be able to trade this one because the pip value is very, very big. It's very, very huge when it comes to the pip value. So now what am I expecting on BTC USD for now? So these are the cryptocurrencies. So the monthly time frame has gotten to all-time high. So if you look at the monthly time frame, it's going to be looking like gold. BTC is also going to be a safe haven that people are going to either going to use it to hedge their investment. I'm very, very sure. So you see where BTC started. So imagine you bought BTC around the side. That was 2009, okay, 2015 to 2009. So it got listed around 2015. So imagine you bought it around the side. You bought it around the side. You would have thought you would have been a millionaire by now. It spiked and it pulled back again, came to what? The same level, and it spiked, pulled back again, spike. So now don't feel FOMO, okay? You don't have to feel FOMO. So one thing that is going to happen is what, as it has spiked like this, it is going to retrace, okay? It is going to make a retracement. So that is when you buy. So you can see this one, BTC at a certain point during 2020, BTC rise to this level and it pulled back. So this is the point. When it pulls back, this is the point to buy. It pulled back again. Okay. It pulled back again. So this is the point. As the structure shift, this is the point you could have bought BTC. Okay. So now what I'll be waiting for is what? Just a pullback, for it to pull back. Okay. So it is going to be like gold. Since we are in all-time high, you don't know when it is going to, where it is going to start pulling back. Okay, it is going to be like gold when the election was happening. You see where gold moved to all-time high and later was pulled back. It moved to all-time high and later pulled back. So it's the same thing that is happening on BTC. So you need to wait for what? A pullback. Wait for a pullback, then you buy BTC. So looking at the monthly time frame now on BTC, the monthly time frame, there was no data looking left for you to what? Use it for your analysis. Moving to the weekly time frame. The weekly time frame is currently an uptrend. Moving to the daily time frame. So the daily time frame has shifted trend to what? An uptrend. It shifted trend to an uptrend. Price is currently on this rejectional level. Price is currently on this rejectional level. So moving to the H4 time frame. So you see, as price go to the rejectional level, you are seeing the retracement. Okay, you are seeing the retracement. So this is the point I'm expecting BTC USD to retrace on. Okay, I'm expecting it to retrace on this level, then the trend will continue up. Okay, so at this point you can't buy. Okay, you can't buy in the sense that price hasn't gotten to any rejectional level. You need to patiently wait for it to get to a rejection. You can't buy in the middle of this range. That's what mostly I used to do when I was trying to find out what works for me. I can't buy at this where price has gotten to. I will have to wait for price to get to this level. Then I will take the continuation of the trend. You get it? Then I'll take the continuation of the trend. So I'm expecting price to get to this level. Then I'll take the continuation of the trend. So that's what I will love to see from the chart. Okay, so at this point, even if price breaks above, we're having a lot of rejection. So the best thing I will advise you to wait for is what? Either to price, unless price breaks above this one before you can get a clean zone to trade with him. Okay, but I would love price to pull back BTC USD to either pull back on this level, level, or either to pull back on this level. Then I'll go in for a buy. So I'll either buy at this point, or I'll either look for a buy. I'll either look for a buy at this point for the trend continuation. So those are the things that those are the scenarios I would love to see from BTC USD. Those are the various scenarios I would love to see from BTC USD. So someone is saying I should analyze GBP NZD for him. So it is always advisable you look for so BTC NZD, doing my top-down analysis, the monthly time frame is in all-time high, or not all-time high. Price has gotten to that side before. So these are the various monthly time frame rejectional levels. So these are the various rejectional levels. So since price has gotten to this side, it's a critical level you need to pay attention to. You need to fix it well. So moving to the weekly time frame. So currently the candle looks like it has broken. So the weekly time frame trend to is what? An uptrend. You get it? You can see the lows were getting respected. The lows were getting respected. The trend is what? An uptrend. Moving to the daily time frame. Moving to the daily time frame. Moving to the daily time frame, what's the trend at the daily time frame? So the daily time frame trend too is what? An uptrend. So now weekly time frame is an uptrend, daily time frame is an uptrend. The point that monthly time frame too is as well an uptrend. So all the time frame trends are what? An uptrend. All the time frame trends are what? An uptrend. So now what is done on YouTube is to look for the various rejectional. So this is the various rejectional levels. Okay. So price is currently retesting on this strong zone. Price is currently retesting on this strong zone. So let's move to H4. Okay, so this pair looks good. So do you know something? This is what I will advise you to do. So wait for this candle to close. So this setup is going to be the same thing that happened on USD CAD yesterday during the lending session. So you see yesterday during the lending session, the same setup happened. So the person who is looking at GBP NZD, this is how you are going to. There was a nice opportunity, but the setup hasn't set yet. So this is so you see yesterday USD CAD price broke out. Price broke out from the zone. Price broke out, made a retest. Made a retest over here, created a support trend continuation. So it's the same thing that is happening on what GBP NZD. So this is what I will advise you to. So wait for the 10 o'clock. So we're having like 1 hour for the 10 o'clock candle because you are going to be having a lot of news events over here. 8:30 you are going to be so you have 10 minutes. Hello. Yeah. Yeah. So we are seeing the CHF news over here, 8:30. Okay, but if not the 8:30, what I would love you to do, what I would advise you to be doing, what this setup looks perfectly well, and price is going to head to this side. First take profit is going to be this side. Okay, but we are going to be having news events. It's going to be a high impact news. It's an interest rate on at the same time. Yeah, so we have a lot of news events over here. So 8:30 and 9 o'clock, we are going to be having news events. So you need to wait. Okay. If not that, I think this one is going to be a nice setup. If especially if the H4 candle close around the side, it's going to be a perfect trade setup. It's going to be one of my favorite trade setups. So maybe looking at the daily time frame. Okay. So you're going to target this side. So it's like 1 to 7 weeks to reward. So maybe if you wait for the pullback, then you can take it at this side. So it looks good for a buy. You get it? It looks good for a buy. But we are going to be having news events. That's what you need to take note of. We are going to be having. So it's the same thing that happened over here on USD card yesterday. Price retested and trend continuing. So the same thing over here. Price retest and trend continuation. You get it? So someone is saying, so please take note of that. It looks good for a buy because we are currently, you see how price is getting rejected. As price was pulling back, price was pulling down, it got rejected at this level. And this candle too as well is what rejecting. So if you go to the lower time frame, you can see the multiple rejectional levels. So now even this one is giving us a structure. You get it? This one is even giving a structure. So it looks good for a buy. But you're having a news event. Okay. It will look good if this candle close. If this candle close, I think you can take the flip. But we are going to be having news events, and from experience, when we have news event, no matter the currency or no matter the economy that news is coming from during the lending session, especially CHF, you need to pay attention to that. So if not that, it's going to be a good setup. So someone who is asking of USD JPY. Someone is also saying I should analyze USD JPY. So USD JPY is currently on a resistance level. I don't advise you to be taking a trade on. Okay, so if you move at the monthly time frame, doing the top-down analysis, you can see we're having this rejectional level. Looking at the weekly time frame, the weekly time frame too is a downtrend. The weekly time frame is a downtrend. Price moved up, made a retest, price continuing. You got it. So the weekly time frame is what? A downtrend, currently pulling back on that zone. So moving to the daily time frame. So the weekly time frame, we had a resistance over here. There was a resistance level at this point. So moving to the weekly time frame. So the daily time frame is an uptrend as well. The H4 time frame. So it's going to look good. So that one to the breakout is going to work very well. So the breakout is going to work perfectly well on USD card, on USD JPY. Breakout is going to work perfectly well. So you're having this rejectional zone to avoid. Moving to the daily time frame. So you see, these are the various rejectional levels. moving to the H4. So what I will advise you to be doing is first, so you're having this strong rejectional level over here. So you have to wait for price to what? You need to wait for price to break above this one. So wait for the candle. We are having like 1 hour 32 minutes for it to close. So wait for the candle to break above this one. If the candle breaks above, if the candle breaks above, then you take the continuation of the trend. Okay, then you take the continuation. So this is what I would love to see on USD JPY. Currently, price is retesting on this zone, so you need to patiently wait for the zone to be broken because it's a strong zone in the sense that you're having weekly rejectional level and at the same time daily rejection H4 rejectional level at a particular point. You get it? We're having the weekly and H4 as well. So you need to patiently wait for this level price to break above. You see how it has been rejected. If you say you can see the candle, as the candle was moving, it got rejected. As the candle was moving, it got rejected. So you need to patiently wait for the candles to what? Break above. If the candle breaks above, then you take the continuation. You get it, then you take the continuation of the trend. That's what you need to expect it to happen. That's what we are expecting it to happen. So let me check out. I want to check out the news event. What how it's going to play out. So you have like 1 minute for the news to be released. So let's see how the interest rate is going to play out. So you have like a few seconds for it to happen. Let's see what's going to happen. Or the press, mostly the press conference is what normally gets an impact. So that's going to be 9 o'clock. Mostly the 9 o'clock ones are the 9 o'clock ones are the impactful ones. So 27, 26. So we have few seconds for it to be released. So this is an interest rate, so it's going to be very impactful. So like, wow! I hope you guys are seeing it. I hope you guys are now seeing it. As broken through the zone. So that means interest rates on the that means the interest rates that they cut down rates. That's why. So let's check out the fundamentals. They cut down rates. There was a rate cut. Yeah, so you can see it over here. 0.5 and the forecasted one is what 0.7. So people were expecting this one to happen, and now this is the actual one. You get it. So the rate, there was a rate cut 0.50. Now this is what 0.75. So there was a rate cut. So that's why the CHF is very weak. So there was a rate cut. There was a rate cut. So let me check whether it affected the pound NZD. Yeah. Yeah, so the person wanted to trade GBP NZD, but today we're having a lot of, so wait for the H4 candle to close. If it's closed, then you take the continuation of the trend. Wait for it to close bullish. So let me give out the scenario over here. If it close bullish, then you take the continuation. It's going to be a nice trade setup. So this is what you have to be expecting it to happen. So there was a rate cut. That's why the CHF has become weak. So they were expecting, yeah. They were still expecting a rate cut. They were still expecting because the previous one was 1.0 and the forecasted one, so they were still expecting a rate cut. So it aligns with what happens actually. Okay, it aligns perfectly with the actual one. So that's it, guys. That is it. So any question, if you have any question, kindly drop it in the chat box. For those who told me to analyze their pairs, I've done it perfectly well for them. If you have any question, kindly drop it. Kindly drop your questions in the chat box. If there was no question, we meet again tomorrow. It's Brainy GP, GBP, NZD. What does it mean by it's Brainy GBP, NZD? Which book, which book do you recommend I read based on psychology? So when it comes to trading psychology, you can read the whole world book on psychology, and you are still going to show FOMO. You are going to still be scared. You are going to be still be greedy. So the best trading psychology book I will recommend for you is make sure you are having time for the chat. So one thing, the psychology you need to understand about trading, what the mindset you need to have as a trader is a win or lose situation or win or lose like mindset. After getting that mindset, so the win or lose, you see, what would one thing about trading is what no matter your system or no matter your strategy, you are still going to lose. That's it. No matter there's no 100% trading strategy out there. You can get frustrated. So that's what mostly people, beginners, normally do. The moment they lose one or three on a row, they get frustrated and they think their system doesn't work. That's the nature of the game. So what you need to do is what continue what practicing, continue. You need to continue perfecting. Trading is not There's no perfection in trading. No one is perfect in trading. There's no perfection in trading. But the only thing that is going to make you a good trader is when you are continuing what polishing your system, when you are refining your system. So I didn't just get here straight away. No one thought, like, I learned from people, but those people are not seeing the chart as the same as me. I continued refining, refining, refining. So there was no perfect trading strategy out there. Okay. So you need to have the mindset of win or lose. So if you win, guess what? Find out why you won the trade. So yesterday I analyzed gold, this one, and it's played out. So even though I analyzed it in the evening time, I sat down and find out, moved to all the lower time frames, and what found out why did I even say gold is going to buy? Okay, I asked myself, why did I even say gold is going to buy? So I moved to the H1 time frame. Okay, gold did this, gold did this. So sometimes you see, I'll be alone and I'm going through my what chart again. I'm going through my winning trades. I'm just reanalyzing so that when it happens, I'll take advantage of them. But a lot of beginners don't do this. Okay, so if you win, go back to your trades, and if you lose a trade too, just maybe close your laptop or your desktop, just go and do whatever you want to do, come back again and analyze. That is not the moment or the period you need to give up on trading. You are not going to even for me, I'm still refining. So you are not going to be perfect on trading at just you are not going to get it at a go. Your losses is going to better you. Okay, that's what mostly people get it wrong. They thought, oh, give yourself time. So about the psychology, the book on psychology. So after understanding there was no 100% trading system, or there was no 100% trading strategy out there, you need to have the mindset of a win or lose situation. So no matter how desiring, no matter how enticing your system looks, no matter how good the setup looks, it still can fail. Okay, it can still fail. So after understanding it can still fail, what you need to have is what, a win or what, lose mindset. After having a win or lose mindset, you continue refining your system. So continue building your system. The only way you are going to what, get your mindset right, is when you have seen something happening over and over and over again. You are not going to feel FOMO. So even if you read books, you are still going to feel FOMO. So just understand the reality about the game. The patterns are the same. The outcome is different. Have this mindset. Or in trading, the patterns are the same, the outcome is different. And work on your system to get at least, work on your strategy to get at least maybe 80. So for the past months, for the past, when we started the year, I've been getting 80% win rate, 80% win rate, 70%. So my lowest I've gone is like 75 win rate. By this month, I got low. My win rate is around 50%. You get it? So that's the psychology. So sometimes some months can be good, sometimes a month some. So trading is the same thing as sales. In sales, some months can be good, some months can be bad. It's the same thing in trading too as well. So you need to make sure you are working on yourself. So trading, you can read the whole. I can recommend a lot of psychology books for you, and you are still going to fail. But the psychology book I recommend for you is what, Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. Trading in the Zone by Max Douglas. That book is going to help you to what? To at least understand the reality about the game. But work on yourself. Have time for the chat. How many times do you dedicate, if you are not having a system? How many times do you dedicate on what? Your system. So even though I've analyzed GBP and ZD, okay, I've analyzed GBP and this, that if the candle close bullish, it's going to, so I'll still be coming back and check, even though I don't trade that pair, but I'll still come back and check. So that is how we build systems. That is how we build strategies. So don't rely on trading books and rely on the chart. The best trading psychology book is you having time for the chart. If you see something playing out over and over and over again, so I've been giving this a scenario that when you were a kid, you used to be, so especially when I was a kid, it is going to be very hard for me to sleep in a room alone. I'll be scared. But now, you get it. I'll be very scared. But now I'm having a room that I'm alone. No one is there. A big room. I'm alone in the room. No one is there in the room. You get it. Am I scared? I'm not scared. Why am I not scared? Because what I've now noticed that those things, sleeping alone in a room, nothing is going to happen to you because of what? Experience. You get it. Did I read any book on how I can get rid of the how to get rid of those fear? Nah, it came as a result of what? Experience. It came as a result of, as I'm growing, I noticed that there was nothing to fear. If you are sleeping alone, there was not, no one is going to, those things, that ghost and those things doesn't even exist. You get it? They doesn't even exist. So it's all about experience. You don't have to be reading books to get your mindset, get your system right. If you see something happening over and over and over again, you are not going to be scared to what? You are not going to be scared to say you are going to buy or sell. That's why your trading gurus sends out signals, because they've seen it happening often. They've seen something happening over and over and over again. So they don't get scared to what? Send out that, oh, buy here, sell here. So it's all about experience. So have time. How many times do you dedicate for the chat? A lot of people don't dedicate a lot of time for the chat. So for me, according, even with my level of what, my trading, no, the number of years I've spent on this chat, more than 5 years, I still what, watch the chat almost every day. I still watch the chat. I still watch the chat. Just looking at how things are going. So the more you trade on something, the more you trade some pattern. So you see how yesterday, exactly what I did played out on gold yesterday. You get it? And the chances that this one too is going to play out exactly is going to be very high. Did it come as a result of what? Just magic or something? It came as a result of what? A lot of experience on the chart. So just dedicate a lot of time for the chat, watch the chat happening, have a system that you are going to be following. So as I've told you, if you want to implement system, the time of the day, the market trends, okay, and the reactional levels, these three things, factor them in your odds, trying to develop a system or strategy, and everything will be secondary. So currently I'm having a boot camp. So if you're interested to join the boot camp, you can send me a WhatsApp message. I will add you and I will give you a top-down analysis on how I see the market. I'll give you my trading strategy, everything that I look for. So everything that I look for on the chart, you can join the boot camp and you get to understand how I trade the market. All right, so guys, I've spent a lot of time over here. So see you same time tomorrow. Okay, so those who have not subscribed to the channel, subscribe so that when I come live, or even put the channel on the notification, so that anytime I come live, you get to know. So as I'm saying, Cristiano, you are Cristiano goals. So kindly have time, dedicate more time. There was no magic in this thing. Those that you are seeing them like making a lot of money and those, they've dedicated a lot of time and they have more experience than you. So they are not gods, they are not like magicians. They've just dedicated time to see the thing playing out more often. Okay, so no one was born on with this thing. No one was born. It's because they had time for themselves. If you don't have time for yourself, don't expect to see success in this thing. Trading demands a lot of time for you to have a lot of chat time. Okay, so that's it. That's all that I have for you. So even if I analyze, you come and watch me, you go, you don't analyze, you don't practice, there's no way you are going to get this thing. So you need to understand that principle. So see you guys same time tomorrow. Bye bye. Tomorrow is Friday. Let's all gather here, give ourselves advice on how we can be successful in this game and kill it as well. See you same time tomorrow. Bye.